Hello and welcome back to another episode of the State of the Bulldogs with Sam, Mike, Jeb, and Grant. Different voice running the show. Sam's still with us, Mike here with us, and we've got a special guest with Texas A&M. Yeah, Texas A&M head basketball coach Bucky McMillan. Bucky, thanks for joining us. How you doing?
All good. Always a Bulldog at heart, boys. So
There you go.
it is what it
Yeah,
is, man. Glad to be on with y'all.
yeah. My first question was going to be, how could you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know. What's the start been like? You haven't coached the game yet, but what's it been like with practice and getting involved in the community and everything? Living your first time away from home, first time in your life in a new place.
No, it's been good. It's an easy place to live. I mean, first I wanted to say this because I really, we talked about jumping on, and I was like, man, I really want to get on and talk because the way that this deal worked, I was at Samford, and I just mentioned to y'all, it was on a Thursday or Friday. I mean, at La Paz, I'm recruiting for Samford. There's some movement going on over there. I don't really know how things are going to shape. Very few jobs I would leave for, very few leagues I would leave for. And to be clear, I wouldn't have left Samford ever. Ever. I mean that. If it wasn't for the transfer portal and NIL, both together.
Yeah.
Because, we could do it right there at Samford and just keep building it and building it and building it. And I think that we could have got it to a top 50 program consistently every year. But the game changed, right? I mean, it just changed how everything is now, and that the portal, the mid majors become kind of a farm system for the high majors, right? And I think everyone had to recognize that this has changed so much, and A&M was one of the few places I would leave for. And so I hated it because I go Friday, I get that call, I'm like, oh my gosh.
So is the call like, hey, A&M is interested, or hey, A&M wants to offer you?
We had been talking a little bit, but I didn't know how, where it was. You never know who they're looking at, what's going on. But I did, I was preemptive. I talked to Martin before. I said, this is going on. But there's a lot of stuff going on like that throughout the season and places I didn't have any interest in. Big schools, places that you would think there could be interest. But I didn't.
Well, we thought you were going to Arkansas first, and then it's like, here we are in College Station. So.
Yeah, Florida State jumped in there a little bit, but yeah, their whole situation wasn't what a new coach would want to be jumping into.
Yeah, there's just a lot of different deals going on. So I talked to Martin about it, and Martin, I just trusted him, and he was honest with me about places. And he's like, when that one was there, he's like, that'd be one for me, Buck, to tell you, based on the new climate, you can't really consider that one. And so we had talked. But then when it shook on a Friday, I'm at La Paz with Mitch Cole. We're going over all these guys we're calling out there, calling players. And then, get it. And you fly out Monday morning, and you don't come back. They move all your stuff for you. You never come back. You have no players on the team, and it's, the first week of April.
It's crazy.
No players. And I looked up because of the rules. They thought everyone was going to get that money before the house settlement. And so everyone signed before April the 7th. And so we got there, and there's 81 of the top 100 portal players are already gone. So my point is, you just go nose diving right into it. You don't come up for air till now. Yeah. And so I wanted to jump on here because I didn't get a chance, in my opinion, to really show my gratitude for all the people at Samford, a place that I love and a city I love, and all the great times we had. And I will always be a Samford Bulldog in my heart. That place means a lot to me. And I wanted to say that because we never got the chance, just the way everything moved. And I wanted to do it before basketball season started. I'm not going to be that coach hovering over the program. I'm going to be wishing it incredible success. Lenny's a friend of mine, and I've told all the boosters that were close with me, man, this is a program we got to keep supporting. He's a coach worth supporting all the way down the line. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to say first, and then second, how's it been out here? The move. It's a great place to be. It's a college town. It is all about the Aggies all the time. It's fantastic. I mean, it is. It is all about the Aggies. I've lived in Birmingham my whole life, and it's a city with a lot of things going on. But, I mean, this is a place where they live and die, the Aggies. And you feel the fever, and it's great people, good Southern, solid people. And I've made friends out here, and it's a place that I think we could do something. I think we could do something serious here in time with our program.
Yeah, just thinking on what's something. Actually, I wanted to show you this. What do you think this guy would think about being the next head coach at an SEC program?
Where'd y'all get that from?
From the 2005-2006 Birmingham Southern basketball roster. Signatures from everybody. Wanted to show you this real quick.
Did you see Mitch Cole's on there somewhere? He should be. You see Mitch on there?
Let's see. So he's on there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was an assistant there, and then obviously Coach Rebold is the head coach. I've always joked around that those guys were such good coaches that they could win the league with me as their point guard. That's how good of coaches they were. And then so we'd mess with each other on that. And I said, man, I must be such a good coach that I can win with you two slappies as my assistant coaches. So those are good times, though, man.
Yeah, how nice is it that you were able to bring pretty much everybody over to College Station? It was like same club, different place kind of deal. Like, how nice has that been to ease?
It was great. I mean,
SEC?
Yeah, it was good. And the thing is, Mitch had coached here at Texas A&M, and Mitch had a decision to make what he wanted to do, right? Try to be a head coach or come back to A&M, and A&M's probably the only place he would have left for. Like he, had kids here, raised kids here, loved it here, won an SEC championship here. Mm-hmm. So he'd been here, and not just guys we brought like Warren and Dave Good, but the people we hired. Darby Rich, who was a strength coach, been a strength coach here. I think he's the best strength coach in college basketball.
All A&M.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Frank Haith, who we hired, had coached at A&M. He was the head coach at Missouri, Miami, and Tulsa. And at Missouri, is a national coach of the year, like literally the national coach of the year. Yep. And then Kyle Keller was here, and years ago with Mitch when they won the SEC. He was at Stephen F. Austin. Of all the mid-major teams I like watching, I probably watched Stephen F. Austin more than anybody but Samford because I was intrigued by how they play defense. And I've known T.J. Cleveland, who we hired. He was at UAB is Mike Anderson's nephew. Was at UAB, Arkansas, Missouri, the Elite Eight, St. John's, Wichita, now here. But he went to Minor High School. I watched him. He played for Nolan Richardson back in the day, so I've watched him and known him a long time. So
who was the guy from Stephen F. Austin?
Kyle Keller. He was a head coach.
Was he coaching there when they beat Texas in the tournament?
That I cannot remember.
Epic game. But
yeah, no. I think that's the coach that's now at Illinois. But Kyle's team went and won at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
That was like one of the first losses ever.
That's a brutal upset for Duke. That's awesome.
So he knows what he's doing, man. And but Texas guy. Been out here. Frank's been living in Texas. So we're able to get acclimated quickly because when I'm telling you, like, we got here drawing dead based on where it was in, early April, and we flipped a roster together that if we stay healthy, play well, could get in the tournament. And if we get in the tournament, I mean, we were a good shooting team. Anything can happen. We could make a run. So I would say that they had a large part of that because they knew the lay of the land.
Hey, how nice is it having Josh Holloway there, a guy that knows the system, knows how to play point guard for your team, helping bring those other guys up to speed quickly.
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, just continuity helps. Even Grayson Walters coming out here as a GA. Played with me for years. Josh, Grayson played for me in high school, then at Samford as a walk-on.
That's cool.
And then we're gonna bring. I mean, y'all may not know this, but Rylan hurt his ab, and he had to come home, had to have surgery. He's going to come out here with us too. Nice. So Rylan Jones is. So
that's awesome.
Just a lot of familiar faces.
Yep.
KJ Hall is a GA for us at Samford and came out here. So a lot of familiar faces.
Rylan's going to be such a good coach one day.
Oh, he'll be unbelievable. He'll be unbelievable coach.
I was going to ask you, recruiting wise, SEC, SoCon. I mean, what's the prime? Obviously, the money is a big difference, obviously. But outside of the money, I mean, what's kind of the A&M pitch?
Well, what I can say is this. I played mid-major basketball when I was at Birmingham Southern. I may be mid to low major when they were D1. I coached in the SoCon. And what I can say is this. I'm really glad I had never coached Power 5 basketball or played it because I wouldn't have been so confident recruiting to Samford. I really wouldn't like it is great. I think Samford's an incredible place, but I would be talking to these people that are coming from high major programs about how awesome our facilities are. And like the way we travel, we get to charter like 3 different times, and like I just didn't even know any better. You won't believe our locker room how great it is. Like looking back on this, like I'm really glad I didn't know that, because like I couldn't go at them so confidently. Why wouldn't you want to be here?
Yeah,
like
that's good.
But being on this side of it, it's just like the locker rooms are just unbelievable. The access, I mean, I've been on a private plane everywhere to go recruiting, just in and out of places. And it's just, it's a different deal. It's just a different deal. And so I think that you sell that, and because of that, the nutrition's top notch, the facilities are top notch, the travel is top notch. So what does that mean? It means that there's more time to focus on your development. Strength training's top notch. All of that adds up to a different deal, if that makes sense to you. And that's the thing that probably opened my eyes the most. I mean, the locker room, you could live in the locker room.
I would never leave. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. And that's not a deal to say that people should make decisions just on that. That's just the biggest difference that I saw being here. In terms of recruiting, everything else is the same. It's about a connection with a kid and showing them how you're going to play and how you can reach your potential playing in what we do, but also you being here can help A&M reach its potential in what they do. When we recruit, it's still the same deal wherever you are. Like we recruit based on these factors. They got to have skill. Can they dribble, pass, shoot? Okay? And then you got to find after that, do they have the measurables that you're looking for in the athleticism? Those 5 things, and then you ask yourself 2 questions. Do they play hard and competitive? All right? And then do they have basketball IQ? So, that's what you're really looking for, So I don't know why I got balloons on me about preaching. But anyway, that's the same at all levels, how you recruit.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
There's no PJ going to get a tour on that recruiting trip. You could have used it at that point, right?
No doubt. I mean, no doubt, man. It is different though, man. I will say that. Like it is an eye-opening experiment. Just how efficient everything is. There's nothing you can do. It's just the investments at a very high level in Power 5 sports, in particular the SEC, the investments at the highest level.
Well, I was just going to say that first 30, 60, 90 days after taking the job, how do you go about building a roster short notice? Like you said, 80 of the top 100 transfers already
the whole roster
committed somewhere. What's that process look like?
It was crazy. We didn't sleep, man. I mean, we would be up till 2 a.m. and be back at it at 7:30, and you literally, if you don't get it right, I mean, you could literally not win a league game. I mean, literally, because of where it was and based on, people say, well, everyone's having to rebuild. Yeah, but everyone didn't have to rebuild based on when the house settlement was, so all the players going early. Mm-hmm. And no one had to like when Nate went into Alabama, when he got the Alabama job, that was before the portal. Like, you got to remember, like, he walked into Herb Jones State, Petty was there, Kyra Lewis was there, Alex Reese was there. Like, these are all 4 NBA players, right?
Yeah, those are all system fits, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in other state as well. So, we walked into literally no scholarship players on the roster at the time. 1 incoming freshman. So it was just nonstop, no sleep. But that's why it just calmed down to about right now.
Yeah.
Even we weren't sure about the roster. I put together, like, oh gosh, like how many guys is he going to find? Then you get Jakari Lane from North Alabama, who you saw drop like 45 on us at a double.
He is good.
Double overtime game. And I felt a turn when you got McKenzie from Indiana. Once you got him, like, okay, this is where like maybe the money's coming in, or maybe where the roster fits, and that's where we saw the flip. Yeah. Okay, this could be a potential tournament team. Did you feel that same way as well?
Yeah, Ibaka was huge for us because he's a top 10 player in the country coming out of high school. I'm sorry if I'm sweating a little bit, guys. We've been running about 95 degrees out here, but y'all wouldn't be able to hear me inside. But Ibaka was huge for us. Like I will forever be indebted to McKenzie because he had to come with nobody on the team pretty much, right? He had to say, I'm going to come, and was a top 10 player in the country, and I'm coming there, coach, because I believe in you. We didn't know each other. And he just, that's a big deal. Because, he could have gone anywhere. And I always remember that. And it allowed the others to follow, It allowed the others to say, okay, all right, let's go. And so it's good. I like the group, though. Good group of guys. Like, they're good group guys. They work hard, depth. So, they got a chance.
So you even went to Spain. He even went to Spain to get Dominguez. How does that come across your desk, come across your radar to get a guy like Ruben over across the way?
So Ruben Dominguez, he's probably the best shooter, maybe the best. I don't know game shooter. We haven't got to the games yet. But just he made 74 threes in a row one day, and then came out the next day and made 73 in a row. Right?
That's like Buddy Hield level stuff.
It's crazy. He made 73 in a row. It's mad.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So all the pros now are coming over. This is funny with Ruben. So Ruben's 22 years old. He's married. He comes over. He's over here, and we're recruiting him and all this because now they're letting the pro players come over because why wouldn't they be allowed to come over making less than the guys over here, right? Last year the SEC was the second highest paid league in the world behind the NBA, right?
Insane.
So why wouldn't they let him come over here? But he came over here and we got him. Ruben hadn't gone to class in 5 years. He hadn't done any school. He's done no school in the past 5 years. And so he's so funny. He's just like, God, this school stuff is hard. Imagine that if you were out of school 5 years and come play college basketball.
And you have to go to A&M. Like, that's a tough school. Like, that's no joke.
Yeah. He moved from Spain to College Station, Texas. It's like, okay, we need to settle back and we need to find our footing here because I can just see how intense that would be for him.
But he can shoot it, man. We keep up with everything overseas. The way this works now in the agent world, that you got to be connected to the agents because they have the players, right? And they want to work with SEC and they want to work with A&M. A&M has capital, and it's one of the few schools I think can probably be good at every sport in this climate of college athletics. 76,000 students, one of the largest living alum base in the world. It's a deal where you don't have to go too far to track them. The agent world's going to find you and kind of show you what they got, But we were fortunate with this. We put together, and I mean this, and every coach says this time of year, but I've been around. Grant, you know me well enough. I told you last year in the summer with our team, I don't know about our team if they can win it. I told you the year before, we will win it. I promise you, we'll win it. So I'm straight up. This group really has hardworking, good guys, and that's a little bit of luck because we had to piece it together so quickly. You couldn't deep dive every player, and so I'm grateful that we were able to get that piece to it because you know how it is, man. In college basketball, the ups, downs. If you're going to be good, you're going to have the resiliency to stay together and have something inside of you that can fight through that. And it doesn't matter how talented you are, the teams that don't have that inside of them, the correct character, they're going to nosedive. They can't get out of it. Y'all may remember this. There was a year we had a lot of guys hurt, and we went on a 6 or 7 game losing streak.
Oh, yeah.
And in most teams, if you didn't kind of have the right guys, you're probably going to tank it. And our guys came back and finished 50-3 in the league. So, that's what you got to have because I promise you this. The key to college athletics, get old, get deep, and have continuity. This team is old, they're deep. We don't have any continuity. Right. So there will be just some ups and downs. And it's going to be, do they have the right character to stay together? And I think they have that. And that's what it'll take because this team right here, you're fighting to get in that NCAA tournament. And, you just can't have a bad night that can keep you out of it.
Tournament expansion. That's the hot topic right now.
Yeah.
Pros, cons. Obviously, A&M would be a beneficiary, but
yeah, the thing is, I can speak as a high school guy, a mid-major guy, and a high major guy now, right? And it's just going to get more high majors in, so I should be saying, well, great,
right?
But I just felt that was the right vibe to it, the number that it was. I just felt that was right, and that was the right proportion of auto bids, and automatic qualifiers, high majors, mid majors. Now you're going to have less mid majors as a piece of the pie. I don't like that. You know, me personally, I can see why. I could see why the SEC would want to use their leverage. But at the end of the day, guess what? The SEC was arguably the greatest league in the history of college basketball last year. They got 14 of the 16 teams in the NCAA tournament.
It's crazy.
Think of that. 4 in the Elite Eight, 2 in the Final Four, and the national champion.
Yeah.
Like, Texas was in the league, went 6-12 in the league and got in the NCAA tournament. I mean, 14-6.
Yeah, the SEC doesn't need it, but
right.
The Big Ten may. Well,
yeah,
they always seem to be darlings to the committee, but.
Although Jeb's ACC's taking a nosedive.
Yeah, the ACC may need it.
Well, I think one thing everybody's got to consider is this. If you're like when we got there last year, or the year before last, every look at it, you're playing for a national championship. So like Samford's playing for a national championship. Mm-hmm. And so every team that's in, that's the point of it. You're trying to determine the national champion, right? I mean, how many of these teams are really going to affect the national championship by expanding it? Like, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that part, I don't know.
I mean, the worst thing that would happen is they would upset one of the true contenders, and then all of a sudden we have a watered-down Sweet 16 or Elite 8. Because that's what was awesome about this past year's tournament. Yeah, it was half the SEC was in the Final Four, but my gosh, what a Final Four.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And unfortunately for the mid-majors, this is what's so unfortunate. You're just not going to see those runs anymore because you didn't see any mid-majors in the Sweet 16 last year or the year before. That's the first time this happened because obviously what made mid-majors unique was continuity, Fletcher McGee staying in the system. Fletcher McGee would have been plucked, as soon as he was leaving the country. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, well, imagine this. Imagine if we came back with the Chore and AJ last year.
Yeah.
We're never
we repeat.
We repeat for sure. And guess what? We might win in the NCAA tournament, but, they're not. And I'll tell you what got difficult for me. This is what got difficult for me. Some players, we can preach whatever we want to about the value of staying at a place, the value of staying at a Samford, which I think is a tremendous value. But, man, that money got so high in the high major world that it was hard for me to look at some of the players. Like, I can say this because he wasn't involved, because Jermaine Marshall came before the numbers got inflated. Mm-hmm. But I love Jermaine like a son. And the numbers before they got inflated, Jermaine should never have left Samford for $100,000 more dollars. That's not life-changing money. That's not going to do enough where he should have ever left for that. But, man, when they're talking about 7 figures, it makes it very difficult for me, for someone like Jermaine, knowing his background and how I care about that family. It would have been hard for me to say, no. I could point the reasons for staying, could understand the reasons for going, and that became very difficult. And that kind of weighed a little bit into my decision. I truly believe that for Samford, for us, what we were building, for Samford to be consistent in the top 50, I felt we were the right people to be at Samford. I felt we had a better chance of doing that with our staff and the people we had than anybody to consistently. I really believe that in my heart. But this new era of what it's gone to, where it's pretty much trying to be very competitive in the Southern Conference and just trying to win the SoCon to get in the tournament. It's not about being in the top 50. That's not what it is. I'm not so sure that I'm the best for that. I don't know, because I thought our strength as a coach was that I could really relate to Jermaine, a Chore, but I could also relate to Nate Johnson, Rylan Jones. And I thought that's what made our staff special. We could do that. But you're not going to have Jermaine and a Chore and Jaden Campbell and AJ in your program long enough to develop those guys, right? You're just not going to have that anymore. And so because of that, the whole deal has changed. And that's why I do think Lenny will do a great job, not just because he's a great coach, but a lot of the recruits that there are, a lot of players he's won with will be guys that I think can stay at Samford 4 years. And they could turn down a little bit more and stay there because of maybe their background a little bit, And so that change in athletics really changed a lot in terms of, I think, not just me, but a lot of coaches looked at this at the mid-major level. And it's unfortunate. It's sad in a lot of ways. It's truly sad, but you know, we can't sit around and cry about it. It is what it is.
It is what it is. We were talking to President Taylor about that, I guess a month or two ago, and he mentioned the same exact deal. You know, there was a time where Samford could have been a Gonzaga built into that level of program, but the NIL and transfer portal makes that impossible. Like maybe you get a Jaden Campbell out of the JUCO D3, whatever. Maybe you can compile a roster full of those kind of athletes, but
it's going to be hard to keep them.
Yeah.
Long term, and continuity is what wins, right? You know, continuity is really what's going to win at the end of the day. And so when they got good enough, it would have been hard when the money was where the gap is now. The gap is so significant. It wasn't significant until the this deal in the year before. The gap was not
crazy when Furman's star player goes and gets paid to sit on the bench at Auburn. That's when you knew it was kind of over for mid-major basketball.
Yeah.
Because now they can put 12 guys deep who are really good players and not just 5 or 6.
And Furman was paying very well.
Yeah, they're not
whether they want to admit it or not.
As much as we want to hope they are.
Yeah, so my point is, it wasn't like he was getting 0 to when he was at Furman, right? So my point is, that's the gap. It's just gotten so big, you know? So
yeah, we were told they didn't have any money to spend. That's why it was a miracle they made the Southern Conference.
So this is fun. This is really funny. So when I was at Samford, this is great. When I was at Samford, I like all the guys in the SoCon. Regardless, I like all the SoCon coaches. But when we were there, I asked, like I would just tell everybody on the road, we just got this rumor started that like we were spending like 1.5 on the team, $2 million on the team. We spread it out there. Just so the coaches in the SoCon, when they came recruiting against us, they would think, "Oh man, we better just bow out, man. We can't recruit against them. They're going to pay them all." And so that rumor got around. That rumor got around. That rumor got around so good that, and I'm not picking on it, but it's just funny. What you heard said in the press conference is like, bro, if they knew what we had spent on our championship team, they spent more on that on 2 players than our whole team. And so I just thought that was so funny. It was like that was. There's playing checkers, there's playing chess, and then there's playing a little bit of poker, and that's what we played, a little bluff game on them, you know. But
anyway, no way, not us.
that's amazing.
So it was funny,
not us.
But my point was going down that road, being funny with those guys. But the truth is that the gap just became, even for the mid majors that were paying, just became so big, man. And it was not like that. The difference between an SEC player to mid-major player, he might get $100,000 more dollars. Right. And that's not enough. I could never tell someone for $100,000, you shouldn't stay at Samford with this network and what you built. I would never I would tell them you should stay right here. That's not going to change. You're going to pay taxes on that. That's going to be gone in a year.
Yeah.
But it did change. And at some point, it's going to balance back to some level of sanity. I just don't know when, you know. Well, I don't know. Maybe it won't balance back.
I don't know. Because, like, we want there to be a cap. But there's never going to be a cap. Like, we'll see. Maybe. I could be wrong. And there's certainly no incentive for the high major schools to bring along the mid-major schools if they did come together to create like a new entity where you could have unions and whatnot. But we would just be basically FCS football at that point.
Well, that's the thing I worry about for mid-majors, and I worry about it for the game of basketball. Is it going to be a separation like that where it's not the same thing, right? Because what has made it unique in the tournament is that there's so many people play for that national championship that can make a run.
Right.
And that's what made it unique. And I just, I hope there's not a separation where it's just the big boys in one league and places like the SoCon end up becoming glorified Division II basketball. That's my concern. The issue, what you find out with mid-major, is the mid-major teams that bring some guys back can probably compete with the high majors early in the season. But what happens, talent by the end of the season figures each other out. And the talent gap becomes so big because they've stole all the mid-major players. And so early in the season, like mid-majors can go pop some teams early because they may have some continuity. Talent gaps there, but just they're together, they're tight, they know what they're doing, they can win early in the season, but later in the season, that talent, they may not know each other very long early in the season. By the end of the season, they know each other, and that becomes a challenge. That becomes a challenge.
Yeah, kind of going back to, I think I kind of want to work backwards towards your Samford tenure. I'm wearing the all hurt, all ball shirt. Back to that team, you did an interview like a month ago talking about how that game against Kansas, you wish you could have done more for the team. I've never actually heard a coach maybe say that or kind of have that kind of mindset. But when you look back on that team, on that tournament team, when you think about that, what's your kind of mindset on that, saying that you wish you could have helped them more when it came to maybe that game or the season?
Yeah, just one more play, hey, maybe if I didn't play this guy and I played this guy instead, or maybe if we went zone in this possession, or maybe we did this, helping him in that way, because I really liked that team a lot. That team was very competitive. They were competitive, and you had guys that were on that team that had not really won a championship yet. Some of them, I really felt that team, and he may not know this. I think when A.J. Staten looks back at his life down the road, I really believe this. He probably don't know this yet. He's going to remember what it was like to be a part of something his first year here where we weren't good, and all the hard work that it would take to win a championship. You literally have to have everybody all in, how difficult it was, how you have to conform to the team, and then you actually go from 10th to first or last to first. And I think he's going to think about that, and he's going to remember that in his life, that that's how you are a champion. And the deal that champions act like champions before they're ever champions. Mm-hmm. I really think that he will look back at that, and he's going to remember that we accomplished something we would have never been able to accomplish if it wasn't through all this incredible hard work and being unselfish. And that's what people talk about. I hadn't necessarily seen it a lot before. I don't know if I have seen it before. I saw that, and now it makes sense for me. And I think that's very important. And I think with AJ, I bring that up because I remember walking off the floor with him our first year in the SoCon tournament. Obviously, we weren't good and got killed. And then I remember, if you look at the footage, when we're throwing the ball in the air, the buzzer goes off, AJ's on the floor, and AJ's not this kind of guy. He just collapses and just sits down in the corner and just is looking at this. If y'all go find it. And he doesn't say a word. He's just looking around. It's so not him. And wow, it all came true. I thought that was that team. And Jaden Campbell and Jermaine had to come back and told him, hey, we're going to do something truly unique, and we did it. And when I recruited Ryland and Dallas, and I just remember that process and getting a short, really everything kind of came together, and I really wanted it to come together for that tournament for them, not just for that deal, but just for their life. I really wanted it for their life so they could see, this is what can happen. And that's what that team meant to me. They were a lot to do with being right, and they were all very competitive. They're all and listen, that team had 10 upperclassmen, older guys, and they had to. None of them liked it, but they all had to conform to playing about 20 minutes a game because they were so even that they didn't all play 30 minutes a game. And trust me, they didn't like it, but they were professionals about it, and they actually ended up doing something that they would have never done if they didn't conform to doing that. Garrett Hicks, comes to us, and comes off the bench.
Right.
Garrett Hicks has been the go-to guy on every team he's been on.
Yeah, he was the guy, right?
Never complained. And that's something that they'll remember the most. The saying, freshmen want to play, sophomores want to start, juniors want to score, seniors want to win. But you had a bunch of guys that wanted to win on that team, and that was pretty cool.
It was an awesome team, and it was watching the maturation was awesome. Yeah, conforming to the team, that especially when you look at that team compared to just the year prior, where there wasn't as much symmetry or alignment, so to speak.
Well, every team knocks down the door for the next team in some capacity, right? That's the thing that I think y'all remember. Like, I think, I know that Samford was not. Oh, you found AJ there.
There you go.
Yeah. So did you see him fall?
He fell off.
Go back to it. I want to see it.
Screen.
I want to see it. Yeah, you'll see it when this happens. That's him right there. That almost makes me cry because I know AJ, and I just know what's going through him right there. He went through a lot, and you see that. And he spoke to our team before the game, and I'll remember that. He's not really that guy, and he wanted to say something to the team. He's never done that. You're saying, hey, I know at times I may have not been all in all the time, but guys, I'm in tonight, and I've been in more than you know, okay? Because he kind of gives a demeanor that he's not always all in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he said, we got to do this for us, for all the hard work we've done. Can't just be for the coaches want us to do it. It's got to be for us, man, all we put in. And that's the coolest thing ever. People can say, well, no, I'm not saying they want to do it for the coaches too, but we're here. Like, man, we got to do this so this will be something we can always remember doing because of all the work that we did. Let's finish this thing off right. And it was cool.
And he went through his whole history at Samford, multiple injuries too, just like fighting, get back. Got hurt that year too, just like trying to find his way back in the rotation, like late February, early March, and kind of get him swinging back into things for sure.
Yeah, that team had a bunch of guys, and Achor in that manner, Jermaine in that manner, Jaden at the end of the year. That's a cool deal. Yep. Jaden at the end of the year with that, Ryland, and then Dallas. Garrett, they had a bunch of guys that just weren't going to be denied. That's just kind of how it was. They just weren't going to be denied. And it takes kind of going through it and losing the year before. And, people don't mention this. Damn, we were at the tournament and freaking Quez can't play, Logan Dye can't walk in the dang tournament the year before. What do you think about that? Yeah, I mean, and we still had the lead until they make a three at the very end. Yeah. To advance first, a very good team with Chat. So they had gone through like a lot of ups and downs, man, like a lot of pain. And so it was really cool for those guys. And then the night after, the celebration was unbelievable. That was a great night I'll never forget to do that with those guys.
Yeah, I just remember hearing the bus when y'all go back to the hotel. Even the bus was pumping. Like I was like walking in the front of the hotel. It's like, oh boy. So they're about to have a night. I'll let them have the night.
It was great, man. It was great. But it was great for Samford, right? They've been waiting on that for a while. So,
a while.
And listen, even I will say this, that team will be remembered, obviously. That's so great, seeing the AJ deal. I mean, that's just so great. I mean, that's just the guy taking it all in, man. As he was on that same floor 4 years ago, 10th place in the league.
Right.
So, but even I would say this, even last year's team, to fight it out, to come in third in the league, what our best team, I can promise you that, But it's years like that, too. They won't be remembered for a championship, but just fighting it out to finish third allowed this group to be recruited to Samford. And even though it's a different coach, it's still, like if Samford was 10th, then they're using that against you in recruiting.
For sure.
So, I mean, our group went last our first year, then went third, first, third, right? And I'm telling you, that group that broke the door down to actually get the third place seed in the tournament, that was a big deal to recruit the teams that would go first, Yeah. And so that's what has been unique. It's even teams that don't win the championship, they at least played for the school and at least got the ball further down the road,
Yeah, that's another tough victim of the transfer portal era is, you spent so much time building up a culture and literally teaching the program how to win. And then because of the portal and just the era that we are in, you leave, everyone else leaves, new coach, pretty much whole new team. And it's like they have to restart, and that sucks. But that's just the reality.
And I think
that's a good thing about Lenny, though, coming in is that he's able to kept a lot of the guys because Lenny knew some of the guys already. Right. And he was able to bring some of his guys, and he's familiar with the state.
Yep. Right. Yeah, that should help a lot.
It will help a ton.
I think President Taylor, when we interviewed him, said, Samford doesn't get a Lenny Acuff without a Bucky McMillan and what Bucky McMillan did. And when we hired Lenny, we were all excited. We thought this first year, it's going to be a wash. It's going to be a rebuilding year. And now we're what? Third, fourth in the preseason voting. So
yeah, now we're buying the hype. Now we're like, hey, yeah.
We're all like, let's see what he's got. We're excited.
And we can do well this year for sure. The league, you know, a lot of other teams lost a lot too. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you look around it. That's one thing that Furman brings back a lot. But they still lost those two really good guards.
What was the stat, Grant? One returning all-conference player?
Yeah, 19 of the 20, I think, all gone. And Ricky Bradley from VMI was the only guy returning out of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's
he's the player of the year. It's preseason player of the year.
That's mid-major basketball for you at its finest right now, all right?
Yeah. College Station question. Best place to eat so far?
A couple, but the Republic for steak has been really good.
Okay.
Like, it's a really cool
There
vibe.
had to be a good steak spot.
You come out here, it's
Texas.
a cool vibe. Like, really cool vibe. If you like Louisiana food, this place called Poche's is really good.
Poche's.
Yeah. So, good spot. College town, good places.
So if we still come in November, we need to hit some of those.
Yeah, hit me up. Are y'all coming out to the Samford game?
Grant maybe. If we weren't so bad.
G, you coming?
I'm going to sell myself on the experience of actually being there. And you play that Friday night? I think like the night before. So
who do we play? I can't remember.
That's a great question.
I don't even know.
Yeah, you don't.
How did you get your schedule together?
So some was together, but then others we just had to piece it off. You know, pretty much in scheduling at this level, they pretty much tell you who you can and can't play. The analytic companies, because you can schedule yourself out of the tournament. That's something we didn't have to worry about at Samford, really. You didn't have to really worry about that. Sure. We had to worry about on the other end. We couldn't get any high major teams to play us because we didn't fit the analytical measure for them to play us. They needed to play a team they could beat by a lot more or be like a top 50 team. Here, they pretty much tell you need to play these or don't play those. So there's an 8 and 5 model, which is basically we play 8 non-power 5s and 5 power 5s.
Interesting.
So, yeah, unfortunately, 4 of the 5 power 5s are away from home, so we'll have to play well. Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, you're in Stillwater, play Oklahoma State, SEC ACC challenge at Pitt's, another one too. So you have those.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And then you're go down to Florida to play at Florida State and a little MTE for that Thanksgiving weekend too. So, and that's even before the SEC slate you got coming up.
Yeah. Does it say who we play on that day?
You play Manhattan that 21st.
Okay.
That day. Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
The Jaspers. Yeah, and then actually your first SEC road game as a head coach is at Auburn. So you're coming back in state playing at Auburn.
We play at Auburn, at Alabama, at Vandy, at Georgia, I believe. Is that right?
Yep, at Georgia.
You play at Tennessee, right? So I think I'm going to try to go to that one.
And at Tennessee.
Yeah, at Auburn. Yeah, at Auburn, Tennessee, Texas, Georgia, Bama, Oklahoma, Arkansas, LSU to end the year. Yeah,
easy road wins right there.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, easy. Why do we even got to get on the plane? Golly.
You got to use the same plane.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. When's our first game? Is the 3rd or the 4th, Grant? Does it say it right there?
It is the 3rd, Northwestern State. So
I know we play sometime in October versus Arizona State in an exhibition.
That's right. Yeah.
Somewhere. I can't remember where. So I think getting here quick. How's everything been with y'all?
Houston, yeah.
How's everything been with other sports in Birmingham? I know football is not doing well, obviously, right now, but anything else going on?
Trying to make it before Alabama A&M exhibition basketball next Monday, so we got that. I have to look forward to it. Expanded the Boutwell last year's just Bama game. They expanded it to a 3-day thing. So I got that. I'm sure there's a secret scrimmage in there too. And then it all starts against Tulane. You kind of talked about already, but with Lenny coming in, what's kind of his style offensively like, and what should we kind of look forward to for guys coming to see this brand of basketball?
Lenny's a really good offensive coach. I would say he's think Jimmy Tillett, but way faster. Right? Very conceptual stuff on offense. Like very, very good concepts, but way faster. Very smart players. He's going to have skilled players, right? Very skilled players that can dribble, pass, shoot, that can really think. And he's got some continuity. Like some of these guy like first the kid from Florida, Jaden Booth. We had that visit lined up with him for a long time. We were recruiting the heck out of him. I'm glad that we were able to keep that visit and get Jaden. Jaden's a good player. But Dylan Faulkner is a killer, guys. He is good. Dylan Faulkner is
That's
really
what we're
good.
hearing.
He's the big man.
Yeah, he was injured last year, but he's preseason all SoCon.
Yeah.
He and Jaden.
He'll be good. He so I think I'm just thinking about the league. I mean, Wofford's not going to be great. VMI will be good. Citadel's, whatever. Greensboro lost a lot. You kind of go down the deal. Mercer, I think we'll be right there. I mean, I think we'll be right there.
Well, you never know. Like, some of these schools could have brought in the next. I mean, I always blink on that UTC kid who made the game winner 3 years ago. But, that kind of guy that just comes out of nowhere that's a total freak.
Right. UTC had a lot of turnover. Those guards in their system a while. They obviously got some momentum. Furman brought back last year a lot of returners. People don't know that. Like, a lot of guys that were in their top 10 or so, they lose their 2 guards, but I think they're going to bring back their 3, 4, and 5 maybe with Vanderwall, House, and
Bowser's coming back. Yeah.
Bowser. Yeah.
When can Vanderwall get out of this league?
Yeah, how is he still there?
The back cut king, man. The king of cutting. The shooter, I forgot their names went together. The shooter who just drilled us in the conference tournament. I always thought.
Yes.
I always thought he was
skinny
really
white
good.
guy.
Yeah, Anderson. Yeah, Nick Anderson.
No, well, not Anderson. He drilled us too. But the other kid. House.
Yeah, House. Yeah, House is back. Yeah, House is back.
So I always thought, man, he scared me. Like, just when he was playing more, I was like, hey, he's a problem. They'll have a good chance. It's got a lot of continuity to it, so they'll have a good chance.
Yeah, that'll be a nice leg up. I mean, even if they're not all stars, just the fact they've all played together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lindy's got a couple guys you recruited too with Zion and Caleb. Caleb redshirted last year, but where did you kind of see them over the course of the year last year? I know you haven't seen them this summer, obviously, but where did you see them last year where they could grow their games offensively and defensively?
I mean, Zion, I think he's playing a little different position, which won't be bad for him with Lenny. Like, he's long, got all the athleticism. When he's shooting it, he's really good. He just needed time as all freshman. He didn't probably get enough time on the floor as I would like to give him. But Zion's going to be a good player. Caleb, no one outworks Caleb. Caleb's such a hard worker. I don't know the dynamics. I know they got a lot of guys in his position, but so it'll just be a freshman, really. But he's going to have an impact on that program. When, based on who they brought in, I don't know yet. Diggy, who they brought in from Florida, who we had signed early, I really like him, the guard.
That's right. Yeah.
So he's going to be good. And then Jaden we recruited. Let's say you had Faulkner, who's good, and then the kid that played for Schweers at Huntsville High, who Lenny had already signed. He's going to be a good player.
Yeah,
so, JD, really good player. So, they'll develop some of those younger guys, but it's really, you look at the upperclassmen, how good will they be? And usually, at the end of the day, I hate to say this because I'm a coach, but it is what it is. Early season games, there's going to be more coaching involved than later season games. By the end of the year, I mean this, pretty much everybody's caught up to each other. If there was zero coaching, I want you to think about this. If you had a team that has no coaching, just someone subbed them in the game, just some random, the cheerleading coach decided to sub them in the game. They hadn't practiced until game number 1. They're going to be really bad, but by the end of the year, they're naturally going to figure each other out. It's basketball, not football, right? You're not having to, get everybody running the exact same deal all the time, right? So by the end of the year, it really comes down to it, from my experience, that it's going to be neutralized. For us, maybe we're going to turn a team over on the press, and get 10 points. For the other team, they're going to back cut us for 10 points. For this team, whatever it is. And then it comes down to which of those upperclassmen players outplay the other ones. And from my experience coaching, towards the end of the year, that's pretty much what happens every time. When we won it, I felt our guys outplayed the other guys. Look, you're going to say, well, you're deflecting coaching. I'm going to say it on both ways. I'm not taking credit for coaching either, right? I mean, look, when we played Kansas, Riley Allenspach and Achor are going off making 3 after 3, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the year, it's going to be neutralized for the most part, and it's going to be which of those upperclassmen are going to step up and who's going to outplay who, and particularly at that guard position, right? Particularly at guard position.
That's why we're really excited about Booth. Could be the difference maker.
I agree. He's cold-blooded shooter, man. Cold-blooded.
That's what we hear.
Good fit for the school. Good dude. Very good dude.
Even Lenny mentioned in media days, like, this Jaden Booth kid dropped 49 against Nova Southeastern. It's like, oh, okay, I guess he's pretty good.
We know that's cool.
No, you got the right people, man. Beck obviously is fantastic. Couldn't have anybody better than Beck.
He's awesome. Yeah.
He's just incredible. Martin's great. I mean, just love Martin. Love Corey Green. Just love so many people there, man. I mean, I miss getting to see everybody. I love the people out here too.
That's good people out there.
But I do miss getting to see everybody. So, and then Lenny coaching, the support staff, all good people. Like, everything's in good hands. So, it'll flourish.
Is there anything from your Samford tenure off the court maybe was maybe your favorite moment, or with the guys something? Would it be celebrating the SoCon title team? Would that probably be? Is there any like off court moments that kind of stick out to you?
I don't think people knew everything off the court. When we won the championship that year, in the tournament that year, how much is going on behind the scenes at all times with different players and different things you're dealing with, whether it was, Jermaine may have an issue with his where he parks, and he has an issue with the security guard on game day, or you're dealing with this over here and this, that, and a lot of teams don't have characters like that. But I promise you this. If they did a documentary that followed our team around last year, it would be a better-selling basketball documentary than all these, 2-a-day things or whatever you're saying, Last Chance U. Mm-hmm. We had such a unique, dynamic team with some highs, some lows, some individual personalities that were incredible. And, they always say the journey is more important than the destination. That journey with that group, because they weren't a bunch of choir boys. They weren't. That's not who they were. No. But they were a bunch of good people.
But it's Samford, what? No.
But it made it that unique. And the different personalities with that group is what made it great. And I would say this, that that's something Samford should always be proud of. Because what makes sports unique is not that you can have a bunch of like-minded people together, is that you can bring people that are totally different together on a mission to fight for one place. And the diversity, I'm not talking about racial or just, I'm talking about personality, backgrounds, socioeconomic status, all of that was so wide-ranging. How good some were as students, how much others may have needed help, how some person may blow up in practice over this, how this person couldn't understand why he was doing that. The fact that group came together like they could on game day and truly were just warriors with everything that I know that happened behind the scenes to keep the ship afloat at times made it that much greater when the ship got to shore. You know what I'm saying? And those personalities made it even better than it was just the guys you never had to go to sleep worrying about. The fact that I had to go to sleep and worry about some of them, that made it great. And I heard Nick Saban say this, and this is true. He talked about which players did he enjoy the most. And he said, well, really what happens is the players that had to be disciplined the most and had the most issues were the players that you were with the most. So you end up loving those guys so much. And there was a lot of those guys I had to spend a lot of one-on-one time with, right? And I think our bond is so tight because of that, right? Yeah. And I think the people of Samford, when you look at something that group, and I brought AJ as that example, will have those memories for their life that they may not got to experience that with, right? Those kind of memories and that different, just so many different people come together to accomplish something that may be the greatest classroom, the greatest class they ever take in their life. That may be the greatest class that those guys ever took in their entire life. And sure, some of the professors, if these guys weren't as good as they we had all hoped that they could be sometimes when they had to take a test, and the academic support really had to work to get them right. Man, at the end of the day, that whole university, all the people around that program educated those kids for life. And I'll never forget that. So that not going into too much detail of it.
Yeah.
To protect the innocent.
That's for the book. That's for the book in 30 years.
That much was great. And then the last thing I would just say, just all of y'all, and Grant particularly, y'all have been a part of Samford's the ups and downs. And those that rode with us, you have people in life that are just miserable in life. And so what happens is when people are successful in a program successful, they'd rather that a program not be successful. Other people have success because maybe they haven't had a lot of success in their life. And then they don't want that to happen. And then when someone has success or a program has success, they want to tear that program down and try to justify it because maybe they didn't have that success. And what I can say is that's very common in athletics, right? You're going to get the haters on players, on coaches, on programs, and you're going to get the people that support. But those like y'all that showed support may not always be, positive, right? May not always be like, I'm really glad we got our ass kicked by Wofford, but that we're supportive throughout of the university. I'm really happy, and I enjoy doing that with y'all. Because we got to go from the bottom to the top together. Yeah. And we couldn't have done it if there wasn't positive enthusiasm amongst enough people at the associated with the university. Because what I just described, the negativity, that's a lot of places. And you can't recruit to that. You can't have continued success and grow a program. So that's what I would say to everybody, just how appreciative I am for the opportunity to be the coach there, and how appreciative I am that what we're able to do together. And it's in great hands going forward, and we'll continue to do great things. So that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all having me on.
No, for sure. Well, thank you for joining, and thank you again for last 5 years and making it fun to do this. So it wouldn't have a bad team, and it wouldn't be fun to get involved with you. And it doesn't matter whether there's one person in the press conference room or 3 or 4. It's like everybody they're together, hanging out and pushing this thing forward. So just thank you for that, for sure.
Well, I appreciate y'all. Hey, if y'all make it to College Station, y'all holler at me.
We will. Good luck this season.
See you in a month and a half. Yeah.
See you guys.
See you. Thanks, Buggy.